So this is the story of a slightly too slow shutter finger. I was in Nepal photographing for Heifer International, one of the nonprofits that, just pre-pandemic, I used to get to photograph for every once in a while. And as is a common theme in my life, I had gotten up before sunrise to go on a walk, and it was a really foggy morning. Like, it was just completely socked in. I could barely see down the street. Like, at times, I almost was nervous while I was walking on these side roads, just because cars and motorcycles would come whipping along there. I was like, I don't know if they're going to see me in time. But it gave me a chance just to get out and make some photos and stuff and enjoy being around. So we came back and we had breakfast, and I got ready for the day. And then as we were leaving and hopping in our car to go out to the field to photograph and tell stories and do our jobs, I saw one of the guards that was standing by the gate, and he just had this air of pride in his work and just kind of seemed to be like, yeah, I've got a job and I'm here to protect y'all. So I walked over to him and I was like, hey, can I take your photo? And something happened that I've seen numerous times when I've asked that same question around the world. And I could just see his body language just fill up, and just to see his chest inflate and just like, yeah, oh, you definitely could take my photo. But like, that amount of pride in who he was, what he was doing, and being there in that moment, and just to have somebody ask you to take your photo was palpable. It wasn't a photo I was going to be delivering to the client. Like, this isn't someone who works for the organization or anything like that. They don't really care about this photo. So I was just going to shoot it on film because it's a photo that's more important to me. So I pulled out my Mamiya 6 here, which I think I had Portra 400 in there, and I pulled it up to my eye and got it composed right onto him. And right in that moment, as he's full of pride, and that's the photo I think I'm taking, is this one of this guy who's so proud of who he is and the job he has and the way that he's able to care for others. And in that moment, these two teenage girls come bicycling behind him. And I had the camera to mine, and I was about ready to click the shutter when they entered the frame. And my first thing that hit my brain was like, oh, wait, you gotta stop. Just like let the biker go on through, and then you can take your photo. And so, though the lens was still to my eye, because I didn't want to pull it down, because then he might think that I already took the photo, or he just would change. I just kind of held it for a second, thinking like, it's going to take them a second and a half to move through the frame. But in that time, I then realized that the girls are riding by going, and like being super goofy. But my brain has already flipped itself to relax, wait for them to go mode. And so it took just a little bit longer for me to get that back to like click back into like, no, take the photo, and to actually snap the photo as they rode on by. And so instead of getting their like full on 100% goofy photobombing faces, I got just the post photobomb laughter. And I don't know which is actually better. The photo would have been amazing if I would have been faster on the draw and taken the photo when they were still full on there. But it almost feels like, whereas that was a contrived, like, we're being goofy moment, they feel more natural in their laughter in this photo here on the right side of the frame, because it's afterwards. It feels like to them, the moment has passed and they're just laughing at the goofy thing they just did in front of the white guy's camera. And of course, the guard has no idea any of this has happened. He'll never see this photo. He'll have no idea that happened. But just this whole moment of how it came together. And so yeah, it's a story of a slightly late shutter. But I don't know, maybe it's better because I hit it exactly what I did, because it feels like it's everybody's natural state of joy rather than this moment of extreme goofiness. Both are good, but they're just slightly different moments and tell slightly different stories of the moment that we actually had.